It was a Wednesday morning, the same Wednesday it always comes. A 71-year-old woman in Ohio sat at her kitchen table waiting for a deposit that simply never showed up. No phone call, no letter, no warning. Just an empty space in her bank account where her federal benefit payment was supposed to be. She hadn't done anything wrong. She hadn't missed a deadline. She'd simply missed one small update that millions of seniors across this country are still missing right now in 2026, without even knowing it. And by the time most people find out what went wrong, the damage is already done. My name is Mason Parker. For over a decade, I've studied retirement benefits, senior tax programs, and the financial rules that affect seniors every single year. What I'm covering today is specific and time-sensitive. 3 direct deposit changes active right now in 2026, all affecting Social Security and SSI payments, all creating windows where good, honest seniors are getting caught off guard. Before we get into the 3 changes, subscribe right now and turn on the notification bell. Next week, I'm covering a Social Security rule that affects anyone who claimed before their full retirement age and assumed that decision was permanent. It isn't. And the window to act on it closes at a specific age most people never reach in time. Subscribe now so that video finds you when it posts. Now, here's the context before the 3 changes. Executive Order 14247 was signed in March 2025, requiring all federal benefit payments to go electronic. The initial compliance deadline was September 30th, 2025. Then, on June 2nd, 2026, the SSA formally announced it will complete the full transition by the end of this year. As of right now, fewer than 1% of beneficiaries, roughly 280,000 to 400,000 people nationally, still receive paper checks. But here's what that 1% statistic misses entirely. Making the switch and having the switch set up correctly with verified, current account information are 2 completely different things. And the gap between those 2 is exactly where 3 separate problems are converging right now. Change 1 involves the paper check deadline, and an option almost nobody knows exists for seniors who genuinely can't switch. Change 2 is where the real danger lives, and it has nothing to do with the SSA at all. Change 3 is the confusion window that opens every month around payment dates, and why it's the highest value moment in the fraud calendar right now. Stay through all 3. Change 2 is the one actively costing seniors money today. Change 1. The paper check elimination. This isn't new news. What's new is how final it now is. And there are 2 specific groups of seniors still at risk from this change, even if they believe they already handled it months ago. Let me start with what actually happened and when, because most coverage of this change has been imprecise in ways that matter. Executive Order 14,247, titled Modernizing Payments to and from America's Bank Account, was signed in March 2025. It directed federal agencies to stop issuing paper checks for all federal payments. The operational deadline was September 30th, 2025. On June 2nd, 2026, the SSA published an official blog post confirming it will complete the full transition to electronic-only payments by the end of 2026, covering that small remaining fraction of beneficiaries still receiving paper. The reason behind this isn't bureaucratic preference. Paper checks are 16 times more likely to be lost, stolen, altered, or returned undeliverable than electronic payments. The average cost to print and mail one paper check has climbed to $3.07. An electronic transfer costs less than 15 cents to process, a 20-to-1 cost difference. The financial and security case for eliminating paper was never close. If you're still getting your Social Security or SSI payment by paper check in the mail, you need to act before the end of this year, not this weekend, now. 2 options are available, and I want to cover both clearly because the second one is one most seniors in this situation don't even know exists by name. Option 1 is direct deposit into a traditional bank account. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and go to your payment settings. Enter your current bank routing number and account number. The update processes quickly under the new electronic system. You can also call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213, and a representative will walk you through the update over the phone. Option 2 is the Direct Express prepaid debit card, a government-issued prepaid MasterCard built specifically for seniors without a traditional bank account. Your monthly benefits deposit directly onto the card on the same payment schedule as direct deposit, and the card works anywhere MasterCard is accepted. No credit check, no minimum balance, no bank account required to enroll. Call 1-800-967-6857 or visit godirect.gov to sign up. Both are official government resources. For seniors who've resisted the electronic switch out of general distrust of digital banking, the Direct Express card is worth a second look. It requires no smartphone, no online account, no digital interaction after the initial enrollment. Benefits simply arrive on the card each month, and you use it exactly like any debit card, at a store, a pharmacy, or an ATM. Here's an angle almost no coverage of this transition has explained. A hardship waiver is available through the U.S. Treasury for seniors facing genuine, documented obstacles to receiving electronic payments. Two specific circumstances qualify: a documented mental health condition that makes managing electronic payments genuinely difficult or impossible without assistance, or living in a remote area with no reasonable access to a financial institution or electronic payment infrastructure. If that describes you or a senior you care for, the waiver can be requested directly through the U.S. Treasury. It's not a permanent exemption, it's a documented accommodation that buys additional time and support while a workable solution gets arranged. Most seniors watching this won't qualify, and that's the correct outcome. But knowing it exists means seniors facing genuine hardship have an option, instead of simply missing a payment with no recourse and no explanation. This is the larger, more overlooked group, and it's exactly where the woman in Ohio from the start of this video found herself. If you switch to direct deposit at any point in the last 2 or 3 years, your enrollment may not be current right now, even though your payments have been arriving fine. Here's why. Bank mergers, closed accounts, updated routing numbers, and account changes all create a broken link between your SSA, enrollment record, and your actual current banking information. When that link breaks, the next payment has nowhere to go. You won't get a warning, you won't get a letter. You'll simply check your account on payment day and find nothing there. The SSA can't fix a mismatch it doesn't know exists. The payment tries to reach the account on file, and if that account is closed or the routing number is no longer valid, it bounces back to the SSA. Recovering and reissuing a returned payment adds days to the timeline. Days when your bills are still due and your prescriptions still need filling. Here's how to verify your enrollment is current right now. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and check your payment settings. Confirm the routing number and account number on file match your active, current account. Exactly, not an account you had 2 years ago. Not an account from a bank that got acquired. The account that's open and active today. If you don't have an online account, call 1-800-772-1213 and ask the representative to read back the routing number and last 4 digits of the account on file for your direct deposit. Compare it against your current account documentation and update anything that doesn't match on that same call. This verification takes about 5 minutes. Skipping it because your last few payments arrived correctly is exactly the assumption that leaves seniors with a missed payment and no idea why. Change 2, where the real danger lives. I want to say this clearly because the framing matters. the electronic payment transition itself is not the threat. It's actually more secure than the paper system it's replacing. The threat is what criminals are doing with the cover the transition provides. They have mapped out the SSA's verification process in granular detail, and they're now impersonating it step by step, targeting seniors at the exact moment a conversation about account verification sounds the most legitimate. Here's how it plays out in 2026. A senior gets a phone call. The caller claims to be from the Social Security Administration, the Treasury Department, or a federal payment processing office. They explain that because of the 2026 electronic payment transition, the senior's account information needs to be reconfirmed to keep payments uninterrupted. They have the senior's name. Sometimes they have the last 4 digits of the bank account. They sound official, they sound urgent. Then they ask for the full routing number, the full account number, or a one-time verification code that was just texted to the senior's phone. The moment any of those 3 pieces of information gets handed over, the caller can redirect the next benefit payment to an account they control. Under the new electronic system, account changes can process in as little as 1 business day. The payment that was supposed to land Wednesday can be sitting in a criminal's account by Thursday, with no warning sent to the senior until the payment simply doesn't show up. The SSA Office of the Inspector General has documented a specific fraud sequence every version of this scam follows, no matter how it's disguised. They call it the 4 Ps. Pretend. The caller pretends to be from the SSA, the Treasury, or a federal payment office. They may spoof a caller ID showing an official government number, and they may have enough personal information about you to sound credible. Problem? They present an urgent problem, a flagged account, a suspended payment, an unverified enrollment that will result in your payment being held unless you act immediately. Pressure. They set a deadline, usually 24 to 48 hours, sometimes less. The urgency is manufactured specifically to keep you from slowing down, checking with family, or calling the SSA independently to verify. Payment. They ask for your routing number, your account number, your social security number, or a one-time verification code. One of those 4 things is always where the call is headed, no matter how it starts. Pretend, problem, pressure, payment. If a conversation follows that exact arc, you are not talking to anyone from the government. End the call, report it to the SSA fraud hotline at 1-800-269-0271 and also at ftc.gov. Those reports help federal investigators track down the operations running this fraud and warn other seniors before more damage is done. Here's the rule. Write it down somewhere you'll see it. A legitimate federal agency contacts you about account verification by mail, not phone, not text, not email, mail. The SSA, the Treasury Department, and every federal disbursement office follow the same protocol. When they need to verify your information, they send a letter to the address on file. They don't make outbound calls asking you to confirm banking information. That direction only goes one way. You call them, they don't call you. Any inbound call asking you to confirm financial account information to protect your payment is not the agency. No matter how official the caller sounds, no matter what shows on their caller ID, no matter how much of your information they already seem to have, the call is the fraud. 1 sentence is all you need. I don't confirm account information over inbound calls. Then hang up. Here's the single most powerful step in this whole section, and the one most seniors haven't taken. Create or log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount today. With an active My Social Security account, the SSA sends you an alert anytime someone attempts to change your address or your direct deposit information on file. If a scammer has your Social Security number and tries to redirect your payment, you get notified immediately. Not days later when your deposit fails to show up. Immediately, while there's still time to contact the SSA and stop the redirect before it processes. If you don't have a My Social Security account, A scammer who gets hold of your personal information could potentially create one in your name and redirect your benefits before you ever know it happened. Creating the account yourself closes that door permanently. The scammer can't create an account for you if you already have one. Setup takes about 15 minutes. You'll need your social security number, an email address, and a phone number for verification. Once it's active, it works quietly in the background and only contacts you when something on your record actually changes. If setting it up feels like a lot, ask a trusted family member to sit with you for one afternoon and knock it out together. Once it's done, it needs no ongoing maintenance. It just protects you. If you have a large cash balance sitting in a single bank account right now, that account is the first target a payment redirect scam goes after. The Senior Money Defense Playbook covers the trusted contact setup, the joint account danger, and the FDIC protection steps that remove that target before anyone gets the chance to aim at it. The link's in the description below. Change 3. The one almost nobody has been warned about clearly. Not because of what it does to your payment, but because of the window it opens for someone else to do something to your payment. Under the old paper check system, payment dates were fixed. The same date, month after month, year after year. Beneficiaries built their whole monthly financial schedule around it. Rent, utilities, prescriptions, all timed to that check's arrival. It was so reliable that most seniors stopped even tracking the date. They just knew it was coming, and it came. Under the fully electronic system, that predictability is still there, but it works differently than the old paper calendar. And the seniors who don't know exactly when to expect their payment under the new schedule are the ones sitting in the confusion window. And that confusion window is exactly where the fraud lives. Let me give you the full schedule right now, so this window closes for you permanently. SSI recipients get paid on the 1st of every month. If the 1st falls on a weekend or federal holiday, payment arrives the previous Friday. Meaning, if your payment didn't show up on a Monday when the 1st was a Sunday, it wasn't late. It arrived the Friday before, and may have posted before you checked. Seniors who filed for Social Security benefits before May 1997, or who received both Social Security and SSI, get their Social Security payment on the 3rd of every month, with the same weekend and holiday rule applying. If your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th, your payment arrives the 2nd Wednesday of the month. Between the 11th and the 20th, the 3rd Wednesday. Between the 21st and the 31st, the 4th Wednesday. Write down your specific date right now. Set a recurring calendar reminder on your phone or a paper calendar for every month. Know the date before it arrives, not after it's already passed. That alone removes a huge chunk of the vulnerability this change creates. Here's why knowing your exact date matters more than it sounds. The window between when a payment is expected and when it hasn't yet shown up is the moment scammers target most deliberately. They know the Social Security payment dates, and they time their calls to land right in that window. A senior already anxious about a payment that hasn't arrived is far more likely to respond to a caller offering a fix than a senior just going about their day. The caller doesn't need to convince you of much. The anxiety's already there. They just need to position themselves as the solution to a problem you're already feeling. That's the mechanism. The window is the vulnerability. Knowing your date and knowing the 3 business day rule are what close it. Here's the protocol for when your expected payment date arrives and nothing's posted. Wait 3 full business days before doing anything. Most delays in the electronic system, posting delays at your bank, processing timing differences, minor schedule adjustments, resolve within that window without any intervention at all. The payment's in the system. It just hasn't posted yet. Acting inside that 3-day window, making calls, accepting callbacks from unknown numbers, giving information to anyone who reaches out offering help, is exactly when and how the fraud finds you. The scammer calls Wednesday because your payment didn't show up Wednesday morning. The anxiety is real. The caller sounds like a solution. and the window closes around you before you realize what happened. Wait 3 business days, then follow this exact sequence. Step 1. Call your bank directly, using the number on the back of your debit card. Ask whether a payment is pending or there was a posting delay on their end. A lot of delays get resolved right at this step. If your bank confirms a payment arrived but hasn't posted yet, you have your answer. Just wait for it to post. Step 2. If your bank confirms nothing was received after 3 business days, call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213 at a number you find yourself at ssa.gov, not from a search result, not from a caller. The number you locate independently on the official SSA site. The SSA will review your case, trace the payment, and start the recovery process. Step 3. If you received any suspicious calls or contacts during the period your payment was missing, report them to the SSA fraud hotline at 1-800-269-0271 and to the FTC at ftc.gov before doing anything else. Here's one more detail most coverage of this transition hasn't addressed, and it changes how you should think about the timing of everything I've covered today. Under the old paper system, changes to your direct deposit information took up to 30 days to process. That window gave banks, federal monitors, and fraud detection systems real time to catch something unusual before damage occurred. Under the new fully electronic system, updates to your direct deposit information can process in as little as 1 business day. That speed works in your favor when you need to make a legitimate change quickly. But it also means a fraudulent redirect made by a scammer who obtained your information can take effect before the next payment cycle even runs. The margin between when a fraudulent change happens and when it can be caught and reversed has shrunk significantly. This is exactly why verifying your enrollment now, before a problem occurs, isn't just a good idea, it's your primary protection. Catching a mismatch before a payment fails is simple. Reversing a payment that already went to the wrong account under the new processing speed is a lot more complicated and a lot slower. One final piece of this protocol, costs nothing, takes about 2 minutes to put in place. Tell one trusted family member or close friend 3 specific things: which bank your Social Security payment goes to, what your expected payment date is each month, and what the 3 business day rule means. Then agree on one simple rule together. If either of you gets a call claiming to be from a federal agency about your Social Security payment, you talk to each other before responding to the caller in any way. Scammers depend on isolation. They depend on a senior making a decision alone, under pressure, with no one to check with. A manufactured 24 to 48 hour deadline is designed specifically to prevent that check-in from happening. One trusted person, one shared understanding, and most of that advantage disappears before the scammer ever gets to use it. The call can wait. Your family member can't always be there, but if the habit's already in place before the call comes, the scammer's best tool, urgency combined with isolation, just stops working. Let me bring all 3 changes into one clear list, so you know exactly what to do before you close this video. If you're still receiving a paper check, switch today. Log into ssa.gov and add your bank account information through your My Social Security account. If you don't have a traditional bank account, call 1-800-967-6857 or visit godirect.gov to enroll in the Direct Express prepaid debit card program. No bank account required, no credit check. Benefits deposit automatically each month. If switching genuinely is impossible due to a mental health condition or living in a remote area without access to a financial institution, contact the U.S. Treasury about a hardship waiver. If you already switched to direct deposit, log into ssa.gov right now and confirm the routing number and account number on FileMatch your active current account exactly. If you change banks, closed an account, or had a routing number updated any time in the last 2 or 3 years, Update the SSA record today before the mismatch causes a missed payment with no warning. If you'd rather do this by phone, call 1-800-772-1213 and ask the representative to read back the routing number and last 4 digits currently on file. Compare it against what you have today. For every senior, regardless of payment method, create or log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. This is the single most powerful protection step available to you right now. It alerts you immediately if anyone tries to change your address or direct deposit information, closing the door on fraudulent redirects before they happen, not after. Write down your exact payment date. SSI, recipients, the first of every month. Pre-1997 recipients, the third. Birthday 1st through 10th, second Wednesday. Birthday 11th through 20th, third Wednesday. Birthday 21st through 31st, Jai, a fourth Wednesday. Set a monthly calendar reminder and know the date before it arrives. Memorize the 3 business day rule. If your payment hasn't arrived by your expected date, wait 3 full business days before taking any action. Most delays resolve without intervention, and acting inside that window is when the fraud finds you. If a payment is genuinely missing after 3 business days, call your bank first, then call the SSA at 1-800-772-1213. Using a number you find yourself at ssa.gov, never a number given to you by an inbound caller. Tell one trusted person your payment date, your bank, and the 3 business day rule, and agree that neither of you will respond to any inbound call about your Social Security payment without checking with the other first. I want to speak directly to the seniors watching this who realize somewhere along the way that their direct deposit information might not be current, or that they've been waiting out missing payments without knowing the 3 business day rule, or that they don't have a My Social Security account, and someone could have already attempted to change their deposit information without them knowing. If that's you, the next step isn't another video. It's having every bank account rule, every government form, every protection step, and every deadline in one place, so you can act on it today. That's exactly what I built the Senior Money Defense Playbook for. It covers the trusted contact setup that prevents account freezes before they start, the joint account danger most seniors create out of love, and the free fix that takes one conversation at your branch, the FDIC coverage gap most seniors have never checked, the SSA earnings record errors silently reducing monthly checks, the Medicare surcharge you can stop with one form, and 6 other rules affecting your money right now in 2026 that nobody's volunteering to explain. 60 pages, plain English, every form named, every phone number listed, every action step written out exactly. If even one chapter puts 1 month of a miscorrection back in your pocket, the guide has paid for itself many times over. The link is in the description below this video and in the channel bio. It's called the Senior Money Defense Playbook. Get it today. 2 of the deadlines inside it are closing before the end of this calendar year. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Share this with one person you know who receives Social Security or SSI. One conversation started by this video could save them weeks of confusion and keep their payment exactly where it belongs. I'll see you in the next one.